I'm extremely happy to be with all of you here today because today Dr. Kalam International Foundation is collaborating with International Association for Quality Education Sri Lanka, and we have come up with an extremely empowering and ambitious upskilling initiative for the entire South Asian educator community. So this is the first in a series of programs that we will come up with, and it would cover all the areas of contemporary education. The series will be part of the International Conference on Quality Education, which would be held in Delhi during the 26th to 30th May 2024. So I, Shweta Singh, co-founder of Dr. Kalam International Foundation, heartily welcome all viewers to the first of the series of upskilling and reskilling sessions that will provide meaningful solutions to the educational challenges of the 21st century. I'm happy to have founder president Dr. Kalam International Foundation, Mr. Sudhakar Singh here, and also Mr. Janaka Kamal Gowda. So I request both of you to flag off the program. So before we begin, just 2 words of encouragement from Kamal Gowda sir, and then Mr. Sudhakar Singh, so that we can start off this session with this first program of panel discussion. So a few words of encouragement by Kamal Gowda sir.
Thank you very much, Sweta ma'am. Hi, Bhavan. Namaste. Welcome. It is very pleasure to speak words in this memorable occasion. First of all, we want thanks to the President, Mr. Sudhakar Singh of the Dr. Kalam International Foundation, and Vice President, Mrs. Sweta Singh, and Mrs. Rashmiti Agi, ma'am, with support of all of you, with support of the Dr. Kalam International Foundation, we can organize very valuable international conference on quality education on May from 26 till 13 in 2024. Parallel to the international conference, both organizations, International Association for Quality Education and Dr. Kalam International Foundation, we can do a lot of activities in online platform, in virtual platform to upgrade the quality education. Today, we start with this panel discussion on importance of the STEM education, importance of STEM in 21st century education. There are so many educators with a lot of talents, with a lot of experience in India, in Sri Lanka, and even other South Asian countries. Not only the South Asian countries, even in the other countries in global society. Both associations, Dr. Kalam International Foundation and our association, we hope to make international platform to all of you to share your best practices with the global society. We invite to the educators in global society to join with us for this pre-conference activities, even for our final conference, which we are going to hold in New Delhi, India. Then I want to thanks to Sweta ma'am for our first panel discussion on quality education. I wish all the best, and I want to thanks for all speakers who participate to share their best practices in this panel discussion. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sweta ma'am. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Sudhakar sir, if you could just come in with 2 more words and encourage us.
Yes. First of all, I would like to namaste to Janaka Kamal Gowda sir, Dr. Rashmi Tyagi ma'am, Prasant Sharma sir, and Mr. Neeraj Puri sir, and all the participants over here. In fact, this is a great day to start with this, great collaboration with Janaka sir and his organization, and not to forget Ms. Sugandhi as well. I should tell that this conference, international conference, is going to be, under the collaboration of Sri Lankan government with the IAFQE, that is International Association for Quality Education. And this is going to be physical in the month of May 26th to 30th. And this is one of those pre-conference activities that we are going to have. And we are going to have many, sessions like this. And DKIF is committed to serve the youth of the country. And while with this collaboration, we are going to the countries, not only Sri Lanka, rather SAARC countries as well, and going to do our best for the sake of quality education. We have been doing many things, like we have been doing it for the teachers. Right now, we are having contest on innovative designing lesson plans, Apart from that, DKIF is the first organization which started, training teachers and the students for research. And similarly, we are doing lot many things which are going to be first, not only in India, rather worldwide, which will be, telling all of you with the time to come. So with these words, I think that with our dedication and commitment for quality education, this collaboration with IFQE and that of Mr. Kamal Goda is going to create history. So with these words, many thanks once again to IFQE, Mr. Kamal Goda Sab, and not to forget Dr. Rasmi Tyagi ma'am, who is the, who started this, who initiated this. So I'm really grateful to Dr. Rasmi Tyagi ma'am. And yes, Sweta ma'am, she is always there with me. So thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
I would also request Dr. Rashmi Tyagi to please say a few words, and then I would begin the panel discussion, because it is Dr. Rashmi Tyagi's efforts that have brought this event together. Please unmute, ma'am.
Welcome, everybody, those who are present, and it is my greatest pleasure today to be interacting with an international educationist today. And it's a matter of great concern for me, because we are going to just pass on our knowledge to other people, not only in our own country, with other country people also, and they will, and we learn from them. So it is like a give and take. And I remember the time when I was invited for a conference at Sri Lanka, Southeast Asian Countries Conference. And I'm thankful to Mr. Kamal Goda, who is organizing such wonderful conferences across the sea. And it was a wonderful experience for me, because the educationists from Southeast Asian countries were invited there, and we were given ample opportunity to interact with them. And now, when Mr. Kamal Goda had come to Mumbai, then I just requested him if we can meet in India again. And today we are going to have a discussion on STEAM, and just such esteemed educationists are present, Mr. Puri and Mr. Sharma, and of course, Shwetaji is there to conduct it, and our Sudhakar sir, and he is the backbone and the brain of all this. So I welcome you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And viewers, now this is the time where I introduce you to our panelists, our esteemed educationists. And we have a wonderful discussion and interaction on STEAM as it being so important in 21st century education. So the topic for today's panel discussion is importance of STEAM in 21st century education. Before I begin, I would love to introduce you to our panelists, and it would take a slightly longer time because we have a whole list of achievements and accolades that these panelists command. So I would begin with our first panelist, Mr. Neeraj Mohan Puri, who is principal and a great educational leader who has been working across decades for the education enhancement, empowerment, and he has written several papers and has a whole list of publications to his credit, which also includes a special publication on STEAM. So this is awesome. I would love to know more about it. And great accolades and awards received by him, which include letter of commendations from the Prime Minister and the Chief Election Commissioner himself. And he has also received Certificate of Brilliance from Honorable HRD Ministry, Minister Mrs. Smriti Zubin Irani, and a host of other awards, various CBSE engagements, and a huge set of leadership, communication, problem solving, curriculum development, and decision making skills. The list is quite long, and it is my great pleasure to have him with me today. And we would really look forward to what Mr. Neeraj has to say, and take huge takeaways from him. I would also thank you, Neeraj sir, for being here. Dr. Rashmi Tyagi needs no introduction. We just spoke about her. He is also patron Dr. Kalam International Foundation, a very senior mentor for CBSE and Navodaya schools, has hosted hundreds of training sessions for all the train the teacher programs as well as the students. She is almost the founder of the concept of multidisciplinary teaching in India. So it is her that so many ideas stem from, all the multidisciplinary ideas, all the STEAM projects. She's done it all. And today she is here with us to share it all. She has several published papers to her credit, various awards and accolades on international and national platforms, eminent academician, and a very interesting adjective that she gives herself, science facilitator. So I love that thing about her. Welcome, Dr. Rashmi. The third eminent panelist here is Mr. Prashant Sharma, an erudite academician, exceptional track record in education as well as his subject domain, and accolades, receiver of accolades from the Ministry of Education, Government of India, and he has been associated with esteemed residential schools. We all have heard about Mayo College, we all have heard about Army Public School, Birla International Schools. He has headed them all and demonstrated exemplary leadership and vision in education. He has been serving as principal at Ambuja Vidyaniketan, Jindal Vidya Mandir. He has won prestigious awards, including the Innovation in Academic Learning Award. How wonderful is that? And he has been doing a lot of innovation in pedagogical practices. And he has got awards in that too. Esteemed Master Trainer for CBSE. We are really honored and privileged to have you here, sir, today. So that is the kind of panel that we have today. Now, talking about STEAM, as the education world explores the strategies to equip students with skills and knowledge that they would be needing to become successful innovators in the 21st century, there has been a growing emphasis on STEAM, the educational discipline that engages students around the subjects of science, technology, engineering, art, maths. So we have chosen a discussion on the importance of STEAM in 21st century education to be our first training session, since multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary learning is the key in 21st century. So in this backdrop, I would request Mr. Neeraj Mohanpuri to start the discussion with his insights on STEAM education. Neeraj, sir.
Thank you very much, Shweta-ji. Bonjour, Madame et Monsieur. So here in French, I wish you all wonderful evening. Shiksha sarvam sukham murthy, vidya vina nasti sukham. Arthat, education is embodiment of all the happiness. Without knowledge, there is no happiness. APJ Abdul Kalam ji very aptly quoted, learning gives creativity, creativity leads to thinking, thinking leads to knowledge, and knowledge makes you great. Exhilarating evening to all the erudite edu leaders present on this platform. I extend my heartiest congratulations to Dr. Kalam International Foundation for hosting this marvelous feat. I'm delighted to partake in this empowering event, which highlights and talks about the significance of STEAM, something which has generated a lot of heat and is a latest buzz across the world in education domain. The term STEM actually was coined by National Science Foundation in USA in the earlier 2000s to encompass these 4 disciplines under one umbrella, that is recognizing its interconnectedness and importance in driving information, innovation, and economic growth. In response to the given situations and growing concern of the nations over the competitiveness in the field of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. This is what STEM actually stands for. That's the 4 domains. I repeat: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. STEM education actually gained traction as policymakers, educators, and industry leaders recognized the need to prepare students with the skills, knowledge, which is required for the 21st century workforce. Today, when we talk about this Gen Z, we want them to be problem solvers, creative thinkers, critical thinkers, analytical thinkers, leaders, and collaborators. So the integration of STEM discipline aim to foster all these skills, which I just put up, that is critical thinking, problem solving abilities, creativity among the students right from early age. Rashmi ma'am apprised me that in Sri Lanka and Southeast countries, they are emphasizing and trying to inculcate and instill the scientific temperament through STEM education right from primary wing. That was really surprising for me. Phenomenal initiative. It was way back in 2012 when the term art was integrated with the STEM and it was renamed as STEAM. So STEM with the integration of art was given a new acronym STEAM. So where art integration was a new addition. While STEM education initially gained its prominence in the United States, its principles and practices have since been adopted by countries worldwide seeking to enhance their educational systems and workforce readiness. Today, STEM education is considered as a cornerstone of modern education system, with the schools and institutions around the globe incorporating STEM-related activities like in their curriculum and programs to empower students with essential skills for the success in this digital age. When we say that world has shrunk to a global village and we are, the technology with the access of internet and robust accessibility, this STEM has really gained a lot of popularity. To empower young minds, to ignite this always budding leaders, the impact of STEM in education at primary school level cannot be undermined. In today's rapidly evolving world, equipping young minds, when you talk about, it's rightly said that the catch them early. Therefore, to equip young minds with essential skills in science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics has really become imperative. STEM education fosters critical thinking, as already told, problem-solving abilities, which will make students problem solvers, solution providers, and innovation from early age, laying a robust foundation for the future success. Implementing effective STEM education methods in primary schools is pivotal in shaping tomorrow's leaders and innovators. Now, I would love to put some of the methods how STEM education could be inculcated or can become the part and parcel of primary school education. Number one, we call it as DIY, that is do it yourself or hands-on learning. So to engage students in hand-on activities like building simple machines, conducting some experiments, coding basic programs, allow them to grasp fundamental STEM concepts through experiential learning. New education policy emphasizes largely about, competency-based, skill-based, vocational-based studies. So these kind of hands-on learnings will definitely help children to, nurture and to come up as a future leaders. And even by doing such hand-on and DIY activities, students take the ownership for their learning and they enjoy studies rather than cramming the concepts. They understand the logic and rationale behind the science and technology and mathematics, of course. Second, It is called project-based learning, that is PBL. Even PBL encourages collaborative problem solving and real-world applications of STEM principles. You all will agree with me that today we are in a world where either we are digitally connected or we are physically at any workstation. We all need to work with a team. We cannot accomplish any of the task or objective unless and until we have not a group of people. So collaboration is really very important skill which these young children need to understand and should be trained right from their childhood. So when we talk about PBLs, it is a collaborative activity where small teams could be framed and the projects are assigned to the students. It can be based on basic principles of science which we use at day-to-day level. For an instance, we can make students give a rubber band. So with the help of rubber band, they can understand the concept of elasticity and they can make with a simple motor, with a simple using art. They can design small vehicles, cars, and they can use that rubber's elasticity to understand that how it will give a push. On the other hand, small projects based on friction, on magnetism, number of projects could be assigned using day-to-day science applications and science-related concepts, which will make children think literally and as well as outside the box. For instance, a student should design and construct a model of a bridge with the hydraulics. So to understand the engineering concepts while enhancing a teamwork skill. So these ways, small, simple science-based or physics-based principles, we can assign the projects to the students, which will definitely instill a scientific temperament. They will become creative thinkers. And even there is a skill subject introduced by CBSE, that is design thinking and innovation. So this all helps students to think, outside the box and even promotes blue sky thinking. Then comes the integration of technology, incorporating educational technology tools like interactive simulations or educational apps, which are lot many there these days, enhances students' engagement and facilitates deeper understanding of STEM concepts. Applications with examples like imagine a primary school where the students participate in robotics workshop. Like at our school also, we are having an ATL robotics lab. And since 2013, indigenously earlier, we were running this robotics lab and we have a curriculum from grade 1 onwards. So guided by their teachers, they work in a small team to design and program small robots, which are capable of navigating a maze. There can be water-giving robots. There can be obstacle climber robots. There could be the robots who play some games. So through this type of activity, students not only learn about the robotics, coding, but they can also develop a teamwork and again, perseverance and critical thinking. If we will talk about the statistics, a recent study which was conducted by the National Science Foundation, primary school students who received quality STEM education were found to be 2.5 times more likely to pursue STEM-related careers in their life. Additionally, schools that have implemented STEM program have reported a significant increase in standardized test scores, with students demonstrating higher proficiency in mathematics and science. Finally, to rest my voice and to conclude, I must say and put on record that integrating STEM education into primary school curriculum equips students with essential skills and cultivates lifelong passion for learning. As I said earlier, they will become lifelong learners. They will take the ownership of their studies by fostering curiosity, creativity, problem-solving abilities. So STEM education prepares young minds, young learners to thrive in an increasingly technology-driven world. With this, I rest my voice. Thank you very much, Dr. Kalam Foundation, for making me part of this event and to allow me to express my views and to share my point of view over this such a wonderful topic, STEAM. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And it was wonderful hearing you. And I have a lot of takeaways. I have a whole list of things that I've written down hearing you. And I am very intrigued and very happy, actually, because you talked about STEAM in primary level learning. So primary students are actually great catches, if I can say that. And a huge potential lies for that blue sky thinking that you said, as opposed to so much of gray sky thinking that we have actually when we grow up and get into those systems where we have to adhere to. So if we have that blue sky thinking conditioned in our minds when we are starting out, that is a great way to ensure innovations. And I am very happy to say that Dr. Kalam International Foundation is actually doing the same. We are sharing ways to training children and teachers to incorporate research-based learning. So the project-based learning that you said, so moving a step further, project-based translated into research-based, inquiry, critical thinking, all of that comes in, and we have seen such awesome responses from children that we could not believe ourselves that it's children that we are talking about. So I really second you on this thought that STEAM is the way to go, starting from primary right through the end. Thank you so much, sir, for your insights. If you allow, I would come back to you if something strikes me. So I hope you are available with us. Thank you so much. With this, I would request Dr. Rashmi to come in here, because sir said that there are so many ways that, and he talked about how art getting integrated into STEM was a concept that got prominence, that started in the US and got prominence later on in the whole world. So here I was wondering that art integrated learning or multidisciplinary learning was something that was integral to our kind of education, indigenous education, before we became colonized or slaves of the Western world. And finally, we are seeing our ways of educating gaining prominence in the whole world. So how do you look at that? And if you could give a few of the insights of how actually STEAM can be taught at the grassroots level, because you've done all of it. So if you could give us some real life examples, which would excite all the educators who would be watching this video, about how actually we can bring about STEAM education at the grassroots to the children. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello and welcome, everyone. And thank you very much, Shwetaji, for giving me an opportunity and talk about these examples which you have asked me just now. So first of all, I will say that lots of transformations have taken place in education, all of you know. Therefore, the new things are coming up. But I doubt if they are new, because it was already there. But still, now they are being introduced, as Mr. Neeraj Puri and you have mentioned, that Sri Lankan people, they are using it in ECC Ed. So from the induction level, they are steaming the education. So it is like this. But then I will add that even in US, as per the Washington Accord, when these people come to other countries, then they are expecting the students not only the knowledge which they have read from the books, but they want a multifaceted personality from the students. Therefore, at higher level also it is required that they should be taught in the STEAM style, that not only that subject, but also many things, that how to handle the HR and how to have the teamwork, how to handle if there is some problem. So that kind of people are asked. And now I will take you back in India, that STEAM was already being used. I'll give a beautiful example of a beautiful monument, and that is the Seven Wonder of the world, and that is the Taj Mahal. All of you know about it. And then let's steam Taj Mahal today. So it is a perfect example of STEAM because, as per the acronym, science, technology, engineering, arts, and maths all are being, depicted by this monument. So let's see that it is beautiful, and where is the science? See, science, when we make a building, it is always there. But for Taj Mahal, I will say it is sparkling white color. I have already myself visited this. So it is made up of the calcium carbonate, the Sange Marmar. So that time, the people have just, carved this monument out of that, substance. And it is more of chemistry right now, but it is science. And then engineering. See, without the engineering, a building cannot be there. And when we talk of engineering, architecture. So, what a beautiful architecture, the four minarets in the center, there is a gumbad, and it is the perfect example of symmetry. When we teach the higher standard students in BSc and MSc the symmetry topic, then we give the example of Taj Mahal, perfect symmetry and a beautiful structure. Four minarets are there, and underground level also lots of things are there. So that way it is, engineering also, and then technology. So without technology, nothing is possible. But I will say not today's digital technology. It was not existing that time. But whatever technology was present that time, and I don't know, without the present machines and the technology, they have had such a beautiful structure erected in our country. Our people have done that. So the perfect designing was there. And the designing was beautiful. And designing, we say art, because we mostly say the visual art is called the art, but there are different ways which I am going to tell that how this building is associated with different types of arts. So a beautiful campus is there around Taj Mahal. That is also really very good. And then I will come to the arts. And it's a wonderful
sorry to disturb, ma'am. I would request the host to please not allow anybody to share screen or put on the video. Thank you. Yes, ma'am, please carry on.
So the art is associated with it. And a wonderful, the love story of Shah Jahan and Mumtaz Mahal is associated. It doesn't end there, on the paper, this story. And through, the people are just bringing it to the another century. But a beautiful movie was made, Taj Mahal. And how it is presented, that is also an art. So that way, the greatest love story of the world, it is inside Taj Mahal. So that is an art. And then in the moonlight, this looks more beautiful. People are coming there. They are making the, paintings. And then also they are taking the photographs of this building. And now the maths. See, when you are erecting such a big structure, then without maths, how is it possible? So lot many calculations were done to have the symmetrical Taj Mahal. So the science, the technology, the engineering, the arts and maths, it is a perfect example of that. So that way we can give this example. And then I will tell you, in the past centuries also, people were doing this multidisciplinary things. And then all of you know about a beautiful Mona Lisa painting. And the painting has got such a mysterious smile. Who has painted? Leonardo da Vinci. And what was his personality? So he was multidisciplinary. He was a versatile person. So when we talk of STEAM, we are going to introduce the versatility into the education system in the students. So why he was versatile? Because he learned painting, and then he learned the sculpture, and he was when he was drawing the portraits of people, and especially the Mona Lisa, then he thought he should learn the anatomy, the structure, the skeletal structure of the human being. So he has learned anatomy also, just to give the fine strokes to the face of the people he was painting. And then, because I also paint, so I know that he was playing with light and shadow in his colors. And how he was playing, he has learned the physics for that, the light. So when there is a combination of dark and light, then how mysterious things they come. So that way I will say that in the past centuries, also this multidisciplinary or this team was there. And in present also, I'll give a very interesting example, because Sri Lankans, they are very good at cricket, and they are looking for the versatile cricketer who can really do the good bowling, then good batting, and then good fielding, isn't it? So that is also a kind of multidisciplinary. So here I said there are many examples, and now as per the 21st centuries, we know that critical thinking, collaboration, and then creative thinking, problem solving, all these things are inside whatever we have discussed till now. That is why to teach the students and to bring them to this streaming and multidisciplinary, we should introduce teaching them right from the induction level. Let them do the projects, and that part Neeraj Puri sir has explained very well. And now I will say that we should start the STEAM projects in our schools, because the world has changed, as I have told you, and we want to have a theme. And in that theme, suppose we take one example, then we should integrate it with science, maths, engineering, technology, arts, and now it has become stream also. The reading is also introduced. So now that is what I wanted to say. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Right from Shah Jahan to Leonardo da Vinci to Sri Lankan cricket, you gave us all. Thank you. And that is one of the design thinking that we were talking about. So awesome. We loved every bit of it. And talking about the past paves way for the future. So this is the time where I would request Mr. Prashant Sharma to come in. So Prashant sir, I would ask you to add that futuristic value to this discussion and tell us what are the ways in which the dynamic impacts of STEAM can influence the learning paradigms in the 21st century. So in what ways can it influence, and what are the strategies that we can employ to effectively navigate and capitalize on these changes to enhance the educational outcomes? So how and why of it, giving us a futuristic view. Thank you.
Thank you, Sweta ma'am. It's really an honor and privilege to be part of this platform, sharing with Neeraj ji, who was excellent. The way he just introduced the STEM, I don't think anybody who is sitting here might have felt it's a new term for all of us. Now it looks like it's a very old term for all of us. Rashmi ma'am, as always, perfect with her explanations right from the roots. She starts, and the way she connected Taj Mahal and everything, it was really amazing. So most of the things are said and done and discussed. I have very very little to talk about STEAM and STEM over here. So I will just talk about what is the future of STEAM, right, and why it is required. See, we are in the 21st century, and 21st century demands students to have certain qualities, the life skills that they have. Earlier, they were studying subjects as individual subjects. There was no correlation. Mathematics was studied as mathematics only. Chemistry was studied as chemistry. There were silos. But now the integration is required. We have understood why this integration is required. We cannot have separate subjects and then we are not using them as a whole, as a multidisciplinary thing in our daily life. So thanks to Ma'am Rashmi Tyagi for bringing everything together. So I will just say that this 21st century is rapid technological advancements which are happening over here, and the demands of the jobs which are going to exist in the future is demanding multidisciplinary learning, right? So I think traditional teaching methods are going to struggle to equip our students with the skills needed to navigate the challenges of the modern day world. Entering the multidisciplinary education revolution, a transformative force reshaping the learning landscape is required, and I think STEAM is that transformative force. An approach that integrates, like ma'am said, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, offering a holistic and comprehensive learning experience. I want to add here, when A came, the art thing came into it. It's basically the involvement of imagination and creativity leading to more room for early innovation. So when the A was introduced, I think people were thinking about bringing more humanistic approach towards the education. So that part really is required in the 21st century, because people are going to be more and more materialistic and obsessive about their success. Just a minute. Very obsessive about their success. Materialistic gains are taking the interest of everyone. But with the introduction of art over there, I think more empathy is being introduced, more collaboration, more socialism has been introduced into the system. So that is there. Next, I will talk about the technology. This world where everybody is talking about advanced gadgets. I think being tech savvy is no longer a choice, but it's a necessity. Everybody should be aware about the technology and how to use it. The STEAM approach ensures that students not only understand technology but actively engage with it. Through coding, robotics, and digital design, students gain the skills essential for unlocking the full potential of technology. Like Neeraj ji was talking about use of robotics in the earlier childhood. When we expose students at that level and we allow them to use technology, I think they will not only accept it and will be saved from misuse of technology in the later part of their life. So that is also very, very important. Next thing is hands-on experiences. Earlier, what was happening in education, like when we were students, teacher was the center of knowledge, and he was teaching in a way where a lot of imagination was required from the student side. But now hands-on experiences can be given to the students. Do it yourself, like sir has just introduced. Scientific applications are being used. AR, VR are introduced into the system where simulations are there. The students can actually feel it. Like I was there in my company where I'm working as a teacher. We have certain labs where the students are taught about welding. Welding is taught, but that is very dangerous. When in the beginning, if we give the welding instrument to the kids, they may injure themselves. So simulations are there. They are brought into in an environment where actual no welding is happening, but they are given that experience without putting themselves into danger. So many things can happen. We can cut down on the hazards when this type of gadgets are used in the schools, right? Next comes the developing the scientific temperament of the students. What used to happen before, students were just recipients of knowledge. Now they have become active explorers when STEAM can be introduced in the classes. So I think it will lead to more and more creativity. It will lead to more and more problem solving skills. It will lead to more and more futuristic approach when it comes to taking a profession. When a child at the early age is studying in the classes, physics, chemistry, or biology, he may not have that experience of understanding what a molecule is, what a diode is. So these instruments can be shown to the students and can be given hands-on experience, and they can utilize it while they are only studying, and that they can be encouraged to take up professions which can use these instruments in the future. Next thing is collaborative learning. Of course, the world is shrinking very fast. We are coming close to each other. When a person is studying in India, someday he will go out and work in different parts of the world. So that collaborative learning is also required. I think STEAM gives the students to work as a team, respect each other's opinions and decisions. And while doing that, a collaborative, better learning is going to happen. Because one person can have one idea, but if 10 people are working together, there can be sharing of ideas. So that collaborative learning is the requirement of 21st century. And I think with the inclusion of STEAM into the schools, we can definitely allow our students to be more social when it comes to classrooms. Innovation is the core of STEAM learning. This innovation, basically the heartbeat of STEAM education. Open-ended projects encourage students to think out of the box, turning them into proactive agents of change. This skill is particularly crucial in a world where automation and artificial intelligence are reshaping the industry. You must have seen when AI was not there, people were working independently. It was taking a lot of time. But with the when AI came into existence, most of the things have become easy. Uh, uh, People used to if somebody has to write a book on programming, it used to take 6 to 8 months. But with the inclusion of AI, I think it hardly takes 10 minutes to write a book on programming. So that is the fast pace where we are heading to now. So it is very important that all the students who are there in the schools, they have this chance of dealing with AI. How to deal with AI? What are the pros and cons of AI? So I think when it is there in the schools, the students can be trained. Now the question may arise that if we allow AI to be used in the classrooms, the students may become lethargic. They will just copy and paste from somewhere. They will allow the machines to do their homework, their tasks. But I believe we can bring a few changes in our teaching practices. We should give them homework. We should give them projects in such a way that where the extensive use of AI can be there, and at the same time they can also innovate on their own. So that changes are required in the education sector. The next thing is the world is changing very fast. After 10 years, what jobs are going to be there in the market? I think we have to prepare our kids for that time, 10 years down ahead of us. So I think meeting the industrial needs, it's very important that we include STEAM into our education system, and more schools should be there. I tell you, in my school itself, the teachers are using STEAM projects. There is one biology teacher, he is taking the help of a physics teacher and even the mathematics teacher to work on a project where they were working on growth of plants and the use of ash, the onion ash in the growth of the plants. It was a collaborative project where 3 to 4 disciplines were involved in making that project. So that kind of learning is the need of the hour. We cannot have biology separately being studied. Now, biology and mathematics both are together. I think that is the requirement of the time. Last but not the least, I would say the inclusive design. An integral aspect of STEAM education is intentional design for inclusivity. It is accessible to all the students, irrespective of their background, irrespective of their gender or abilities. Because what is going to happen in the future is everybody will be capable of doing any work. Suppose 10 years before, the ladies were not driving any trucks. But now what is happening? You don't need that physical strength to drive a truck. You have machines which are allowing, even when you are not physically so strong, to perform a task which requires a lot of muscle power. So that is going to be eased out. So inclusivity is there. Everybody will be able to perform any task in the future. So that inclusive designs are going to come up. Next is cultivating a growth mindset. STEAM education fosters a growth mindset where failure is seen not as a roadblock but as a stepping stone to success. Through experimentation and learning from mistakes, students develop crucial qualities for navigating an ever changing world, which includes resilience, adaptability, and the willingness to take calculated risks. Now, what has happened? Like Mr. Neeraj was telling that whenever there is a failure, you can always learn from this. There will be you can analyze your performance with the help of machines and what mistakes you have made during that project. I think the machines will be able to give you more scientific analysis of where you have made the mistakes. So I think with the inclusion of lots of machines, with inclusion of various subjects uh, into the schools, I think we can change the entire education system, which actually requires futuristic approach. In the last, before I end, I would say that the STEAM education revolution signifies a substantial shift in how we prepare students for the future. It provides individuals with the abilities, perspective, and information necessary to succeed in a world where adaptation, creativity, teamwork is very, very essential and crucial. As we navigate the complex challenges of the 21st century, I think STEAM education stands as a beacon of hope, preparing the next generation to lead the way. Through its transformative approach, students emerge not just as learners, but as architects of their own success in an ever evolving global landscape. I think a paradigm shift is required from what we are doing today to what we should do 10 years after this. With the inclusion of all these technologies, all these problem solving skills, I think we are going to have a future where the students will be happy and contented what they have learned in their school days. So with this, I rest my case. Thank you so much for listening to me so patiently. I hope I have been able to justify uh, after such eminent people who talked almost everything about STEM. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It is not just justifying. You have given us tremendous takeaways. I don't even have space on my sheet. So it was, you've talked about everything. If I, the first thing you said was reshaping learning landscape. So you've covered almost everything on how to reshape that learning landscape. You've talked about the physical experiences vis-a-vis the virtual experiences. That is a very interesting thing. And although the debate still goes on, and I would love to have Neeraj sir's opinion here also about the physical experience versus learning experience, although we are really running short of time, but it would be very interesting to have a small bite from you also on what do you think about this physical experience versus the virtual experience kind of thing. What would you want for your students, and what do you think we are moving in the right direction when we are moving more towards virtual experiences, if we are doing that?
Shweta ma'am, before I share my words on the recently asked question, first I would love to appreciate and admire Prashant sir's vision. And I think from pin to plane, he has not left anything which was uncovered so immaculately. And
Thank you,
the
sir.
plethora of knowledge and the repository, he has shared the real life experiences and whatnot. Really hats off to you, sir, with the tremendous efforts which your team is putting, a commendable job you all are doing. And it is exactly the need of an hour. Now, ma'am, coming to Shweta ji, what you have asked, see, there is a perception and the certain things, they are relevant and subjective, which varies from person to person. So I am a person, even when we talk about styles of learning, so the learners have unique learning styles. Some learn through auditory, some through kinesthetic, some through visual. So if I talk about my learning style, it is kinesthetic. So even I feel the virtual, like sir was saying, we have V labs and we have reality labs and whatnot these days, thanks to technology that it has bridged the gaps. We are safe, we are secure. But I personally and vehemently believe that there is no substitution of your physical personal experiences, because once you have done personally anything, you actually understand the things in a better way. You understand the nitty-gritty of the things, and it is a lifelong learning. To just for an instance, suppose if you have taught a student and told them to do a theatrical activity, you have assigned a role play to a child in a class on anything, or when they personally go to the lab, they turn on the beakers, they take on this equipments, when they physically do the activities, that experience is lifelong and that is everlasting. No doubt, virtual labs and this virtual reality can make us experience it, but making you experience and experiencing firsthand is altogether a different thing. So I strongly believe in doing things personally, that is doing it yourself, that leaves a long-lasting impression.
Thank you so much, sir. And given that I'm sure the scope of learning can be widened through the virtual experiences, and they can be very beautifully complement the physical experiences. I think that is the key. As
Exactly.
always,
Actually, there are some, there can be some challenges these days. Since if we talk about labs now, labs cannot support the way strength is increasing in the classroom. So all the children, time constraint, resource constraint, distance constraint. So these all could be captured, or you can say bridged, with the help of virtual reality.
very true, sir. I would request Rashmi ma'am to come in on the topic of inclusivity, because there was this beautiful thing that Prashant sir talked about, that STEAM allows inclusivity. Now we can have different types of learners. The visual arts and the critical thinking relationship is also very well known. And also we can have different background people coming in, different genders, social backgrounds, financial backgrounds, all of them coming together. And how do you think STEAM can contribute to inclusivity? And the last thing, which I would also want you to end the discussion with, is how do you think, what potential does it have for social and emotional IQ, the STEAM, because it is including art, it is including various other things, the STEM, when art gets included in STEM. So it will definitely lead to enhancement of, as sir again said, I'm all taking all cues from Prashant sir's discourse. So since he talked about collaboration, empathy, everything, so it is directly linking to the social and emotional quotients of the learners. So two things for you, ma'am, inclusivity and the social emotional intelligence of learners. So what is your take on it?
I think you're talking about the 21st century skills. And that's a wonderful question. If the teachers will understand the importance of these two things, like inclusivity and the emotional quotient, then they are going to teach the students in the best way. So as far as the inclusivity is concerned, then I will tell you that now in India, especially in the CBSE schools, all the children, they are supposed to sit together. In past, they were having the schools for the different schools for the special children and the different classrooms for the special children. But now the blind, the deaf and dumb, and then physically challenged, and these people are sitting in the same classroom. So that way, in India, the inclusivity is really important, because we want everybody, like you said, the gender issue is also there, everybody in the same classroom. And the STEAM is really going to help them, as they are having different types of intelligence, like some are auditory learners. Everybody knows that visual learners, kinesthetic learners, or maybe Braille, they are using Braille, or maybe the gestures they are using. So it becomes multidisciplinary in itself. And then all other children also, they come there, like emotional, I'll discuss later, but then they come to know emotions of each other, how a blind person feel, and then how those who cannot speak, who cannot hear, how they are interacting. So that way in itself it becomes very important. So the inclusivity is important everywhere, not only in the classrooms, but in the different disciplines. As Mr. Sharma, Mr. Prashant has talked about that inclusivity also, I will say. And I will just request the teachers that please take care of each children in your class. I always say, as you have different types of flowers in a garden, the sunflower needs lots of sunshine, the lotus needs water, and some plants, they thrive well in the shade. Therefore, in your class, it is like a garden. You have got different types of learners. So that talks about the inclusivity. So everybody is included in that. And when you talk of the emotional quotient, then I will tell you that emotional quotient has become more important than the intelligence quotient. I was attending a conference at Dubai where the people from different business, they were invited from the different companies. So a person from the airlines, so he was telling, you give us the children who are having more emotional quotient. Okay, fine. IQ is okay, got 100% marks or whatever. But what happens when the CEO of the company is sitting in his office and he gets a call that the plane is hijacked? How he is going to react? Whether he has got balanced emotions, or he will say, no, I was never taught the emotional quotient or this kind of thing, So we have to teach the children that, give them different examples and give them these, kind of experiences in the class, in the mock way, as the mock exercise. So they are going to learn. So anybody who is having more emotional quotient can really run the company in a better way. So this is what I feel, that emotional quotient is important. So all the dear teachers, please teach them that also. So this is what is my,
Thank you,
what I
ma'am.
want to
And
say.
interestingly, STEAM does all of this. STEAM will allow us to improve on the social quotient, social intelligence, emotional intelligence, bring in collaboration, empathy, bring in the inclusivity in the classrooms and in the society to extend it. And we have touched base on so many things. We have touched base on AI also. I cannot, although I'm very tempted to start a very productive discussion on AI, but I will restrain myself from doing that. Maybe in the next session, we can talk about AI, its pros and cons and its applicability in our setup. We have also talked about several other things which would require coding, for example. Is coding required? And the scope of it. So that is also a very interesting topic. And so many things are coming up here in this discussion. So it is actually a very wonderful first session, a teaser to what is about to come, a host of things that need to be talked about. And the educators need to be the first ones to know it, because when they know it, then that is what will bring the change. And they will be the only ones to bring it. So it was a great discussion. I loved every part of it. There are great takeaways from me, and I am sure that when this will be aired in the South Asian community, there will be great takeaways there also. So I was really happy talking to everybody, and I hope to do the same again very soon. Thank you so much, everybody. I would request.
I will say that you are a wonderful person asking questions and conducting such a wonderful discussion today. So I want to compliment you for that.
Similarly, ma'am, same way, I also have similar feelings, and really the moderator's job is very complicated. You have to be very attentive, have to pay attention to each and every, and the way you have tried to connect all the dots, summarized it wonderfully. So really, thunderous applause to you.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.